So let's take a look at this homework assignment right here. We're doing all of them, 5.2 WSP. Let's take a look at number 1. This is matching. So it says -4 times a number n is greater than or equal to 5. So let's look over here. -4 times a number is greater than or equal to 5. -4 times a number is less, whoops, that's not it. So -4 times a number is no less than 5. Some of us might get confused with that. As a matter of fact, let's zoom in on this. Let's actually underline or circle this. Is no less than 5. Okay? I think there's a lot. I'm not sure exactly, but in order for a kid to be in a car without a full car seat, their age cannot be no less than 5. What does that mean? They have to be 5 or over, right? So this is a really weird way of saying it, but no less than, maybe I should have just circled no less than. Let me erase this part. No less than actually means greater than or equal to. No less than actually means greater than or equal to, right? Like if somebody says, "Hey, could you help me wash my car?" And you say, "Sure," and they tell you, "I'm gonna pay." You ask, "Are you gonna pay me?" And they say, "Yeah, I'll pay you no less than $7." What does that mean? That they're gonna pay you $5? Yeah. No. Yeah, 7 or more, right? The no less than actually means greater than or equal to. So that's probably one of the most confusing things on this whole worksheet. The no less than, or even no more than, also throws you off. Like, let's say, so my son asked me, "Dad, could I pick up the trash in the backyard and you'll pay me?" And I say, "Sure." And he says, "How much are you going to pay me?" And I'm going to say, "No more than $5." So what does that mean, no more than $5? It's either going to be $5 or less, right? So it's kind of tricky because no less than, I mean, less than means less, but it actually means greater than or equal to. That no is kind of like multiplying by a negative. It changes the whole thing, makes it opposite. So no less than actually means greater than or equal to. No more than actually means less than or equal to. So that's the first confusing thing about this worksheet. So your answer to number 1 is D. Make sure you understand that. Number 1 is D. Should we do another one? Pick one. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, or 6. Anybody? 4. Okay, so right here on number 4 it says 4/5 of a number is less than or equal to 5. Okay, so 4/5, where's 4/5 at? It's B. 4/5 or F, 4/5. So let's look at B. It says 4/5 of a number is no more than 5. There's that tricky thing again. No more than 5. Let's do this. Is no more than. That actually means less than or equal to, right? If I'm going to pay my son no more than $5 for cleaning up the yard, that means I might pay him 5, or I might pay him 3 or 2 or 1, right? Okay, so I hope we understand that. So which one was that one? That one was 4, and that was B. Okay. Let's go to some down here like number 7. Number 7, you want to solve this thing. You want to get rid of the fraction. So what do I do? Let me call on somebody. Arat, what do I do to get rid of that fraction? Multiply by 5. So I'm going to go times 5 here. It's going to cancel. Now, you could have also multiplied by -5, right? But he just said multiply by 5. I'm just going to do what he said. So what do I have left? I have -a is less than, because I didn't multiply by -5. What is that? Negative 70. Yeah, -70. Okay, so I have -a. I don't want -a. I want a +a. So what could I do to both sides to make it positive? You can either divide by -1, or you could say, I want to multiply by -1 over here and multiply by -1. Either way,
No, wait, it's 60. It is.
you're going to have to flip that inequality symbol. So -1 times -a is going to be a positive a. -70 times -1 is going to be a positive 70. And of course, you multiplied by -1, you multiplied by a negative, so you're going to have to flip that inequality symbol. Now, if some of us are confused because I multiplied by a -1, I mean, you didn't have to multiply by a -1. How about this? Let me go back and erase the -1. Let me do what most of us are used to. Let me show you. It's kind of like if you had a -1a instead of a -a. And yeah, you're going to divide by -1 and divide by -1. But either way, the -70 divided by -1 still becomes positive. And because you divided by a negative on your last step, that's why the inequality flipped. It changed. Let's move on to number 8. Katie, help me out. What do I do? Number 8. Divide by -13. Thank you. What you do to one side, you do to the other side. So I have h. What do I do with that inequality symbol, Katie? Flip it, because you divided by a negative. And 52 divided by -3, I believe, is -4. Am I right?
Yeah.
Yeah. So there's your answer. Yeah. By the way, guys, I keep forgetting to mention this. If you look at the answers on the back side, they have it in set notation. I apologize. I haven't really explained that. Don't freak out. Let me tell you what set notation is. First of all, it has this disgusting like bracket thing, like this. And then it has whatever variable you're talking about. If it's x, you're going to have an x right there. If it's y, you're going to have a y right there. Right here, it's an h. You're going to have an h. And it has like a little wall. And then it has your answer after that little wall. It's going to be h greater than or equal to -4. So that's set notation. So when you look at the answers on the back, don't freak out thinking, what the heck is that? It's just saying the same thing as this, that h is greater than or equal to -4. But this is called set notation. Might as well keep going. Let's see, which other one? Should we jump to a word problem?
Sure.
Sure. Okay, pick one. 23, 20, let's go 24. 24. 2/3 of a number is no more than -10. Well, let's start writing that. 2/3, that's a fraction, 2/3 of a number, that's x or n or whatever letter you want to use, whatever variable you want to use, is no more than -10. What the heck is no more than?
Less than or equal to.
Yeah, less than or equal to. That no more, it makes it less than. You got to think opposite of what you see. So 2/3 x is less than or equal to -10. Now this will be on the quiz Friday, so make sure you understand that no more business or no less than business. Anyways, wait, that's your inequality. We still need to solve it, I think. Yeah, so let's solve it. What would I do to solve that? Multiply by 3 on both sides. So I'm going to rewrite it. I'm going to have a 2x is less than or equal to, the inequality does not change because I did not multiply by a -3. I multiplied by a +3 and a -30 on that side. Okay, so what would my next step be, Cindy? Divide by 2. Thank you. That'll cancel. X and Adeline, do I flip the inequality symbol or do I keep it? Flip it or keep it? Anybody?
Keep it.
Keep it. So the -30 divided by 2 is -15. So once again, guys, when do I flip the inequality symbol? When you multiply or divide by a negative. Right here we divided by 2. We didn't divide by -2. If this would have been a -2 out here, I'd divide by a -2. That means I'd have to flip that inequality symbol. When you multiply or divide by a negative, that's when your inequality must change. But right here, we just divided by the regular number 2. We didn't have to change anything. It stays the same. Okay, so I'm letting you know I'm probably not going to give you this type of question on the quiz, right? It's ridiculous. But let's not be scared about it. Let's actually do it with the calculator. So you want to get V by itself. How do you get rid of that 2.6 right in front? Divide by 2.6. That'll cancel it out. What you do to one side, you do to the other side. Divide by 2.6. So this is where you use calculator. use a calculator, right? Now, of course, you could change those decimals to fractions, but I let you use calculators on quizzes and tests and on homework. So you might as well just type in negative 20.8, just like I did right here, divided by 2.6. You get the final answer, negative 8. So V greater than or equal to negative 8. You see, it's easy. But like I said, I'm not going to give you these types of questions on the quiz. So number 21, again, this probably will not be on the quiz, so don't freak out about it. But I want to get the u by itself on the right side. I'm going to divide by a negative 0.5 and divide by a negative 0.5. So this cancels. U comes down. I did divide by a negative, so I need to flip this inequality or switch this inequality symbol. So that inequality is going to become a less than. It used to be a greater than, now it's a less than. And 0 divided by any number, whether it's a decimal, whether it's positive or negative, is still going to be 0. So we really have 0 is less than u. However, let's write it with the u on the left and the 0 on the right. U and a 0 over here. And this is our correct answer, which means that it's opening up to the u. So it has to continue to open up to the u. So the final answer will be u is greater than 0. And like I said, it's not going to be on the quiz, these funky ones. But the other ones, yes. The ones that are without the decimals, with fractions will be in there.